Hello there and welcome. Today's video is devoted to present simple. And the first thing to focus on is definitely its form. So we take the short infinitive and place it after the subject. Voila, you've got a sentence, a simple sentence in present simple. I get up early, you take the bus to work, we watch Netflix on Sundays, they do their shopping once a week. However, we have to be attentive when it comes to the third person singular, because we are going to add an ending. We are going to add S to the short infinitive. Sarah wakes up early in the morning. Tom plays tennis on Saturdays. Pamela takes the bus to work. Now, how are we going to form the negative sentences? So we need an auxiliary, and this auxiliary is do or does for the third person singular, plus the negation, plus the short infinitive. So I don't get up early, I get up late. Tom doesn't take the bus to work, he drives his car. Sarah doesn't play tennis every Sunday. She plays tennis every Saturday. Also, something is going to happen when we ask questions in present simple. Namely, we are going to invert the auxiliary with the subject. That is, we are going to put the auxiliary do or does in front of the subject, and then the short infinitive of the main verb. When do you get up? How often do you take the bus to work? Do you watch Netflix on Saturdays? Does Tom drive his car to work? Now that we know how to form present simple, it's high time we found out when it is appropriate to use present simple in English. So the general rule would say present simple is used with repeated events and general facts. So repeated events are those which happen with a certain regularity, and we often use the adverbs of frequency in such cases. So every morning I get up early. Tom watches Netflix on Saturdays. They go to the seaside every summer. They do their shopping once a week. So the adverbs of frequency are always, usually, sometimes, rarely, never, once a week, once a month, once a year, in summer, in winter, so on and so forth. And the general facts are the facts which are always true. For example, the earth moves around the sun rises in the east, ice melts at 0 degrees, and I live in belts. This is also a general fact. It is also important to mention in this video the cases when present simple is used even if we refer to actions happening at the moment of speech or temporary activities. So these are the cases when we have the so-called state verbs. These state verbs include the verbs of existence, be, exist, the verbs denoting mental states such as believe, doubt, know, realize, suppose, understand, think, recognize. Verbs denoting appearance, appear, look, seem, verbs denoting senses, feel, taste, smell, possession verbs have, belong, possess, own, and wants and likes, verbs such as want, like, love, hate, need, prefer. Present simple is also used with the perception verbs like hear and see. However, in English, very often they would use the modal can with such verbs. So, can you see it? Or actually, I can hear it quite well. Also, present simple is going to use in running commentaries. Why? Because sports commentators have to report on the events happening quite fast during a match, and in order to save time, present simple is preferred. And you might hear such an example. Messi passes the ball to Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm afraid they don't play in the same team, but as an example, let's imagine they do. Present simple is also used to refer to past events in the past narrative, and in this case it is called historic present. It can be used in very informal situations when telling somebody what or reporting what happened, and you can hear such an example. And he enters the bar, he orders something, and then he starts a fight. Also, present simple is used in headlines, which report past events. So in the morning I read some pieces of news, and I put down some headlines. So, Australia fires create plume of smoke wider than Europe as humanitarian crisis looms. So terrible things are happening right now in Australia. There's a natural disaster, actually. It's a natural disaster. Then the second headline, Giuliani associate seeks permission to hand over key Trump impeachment documents. And one headline from Entertainment, Dracula viewers hail bloody, stunning and horrifying BBC show as best adaptation to date. So this is what I thought you should know about the form and use of present simple, but definitely now it's up to you to discover even more interesting things and then tell me what's there to know about present simple. In case you have questions, so don't hesitate to ask.